We don't want to be on intrastate. We don't want to be, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to private rights and stuff like that, but when it comes commercial, the law merchant and commerce, you know what I'm saying? Bills of exchange and banking, we doing law merchant. We doing the Uniform Minor Gift Act, the Uniform Minor Transfer Act, in accordance with this Security Exchange Act. And you want to have your stuff down and professional and coming out. It's important to look professional. You know what I'm saying? So now we're gonna do the 1099B. Everybody talks about the 1099A, acquisition or or for abandoned funds. And they talk about the cancellation of debt. You know, when you do those, you create income, and you got to take care of that and take care of that and make sure that that's discharged as well. Now we got barter and trade. Why are we doing the 1099B? Because when we do the 1099B, we letting the company know, like, hey, go ahead and keep making your 20%. Go ahead, let me make my 80%. All right, when we get this figured out, and when this gets resolved and we get to a neutral agreement, you got the tax forms, the POA, the titles recount. Hey, Mr. Such and Such, we're applying the principal we're applying the principal balance to the principal account, the interest, we're utilizing the interest, you know what I'm saying, to go ahead and to satisfy the credits that was used, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to continue to do business, you know what I'm saying? We're not going to discharge it. We're not going to claim it as abandoned funds. We're not going to cancel the debt. We're going to call it for what it is. We're going to continue to do business, Mr. Bank. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and continue our business. And let me go ahead and where I can go ahead and deposit. When I deposit this security and I get this bad boy to the treasury, and when that posts, that means that we all gonna eat. You understand what I'm saying? We're not just gonna discharge this debt in the public. We're gonna keep it in the public. We're gonna keep it in good standing in the public. We're gonna keep it good standing in the private. You know what I'm saying? And when you learn how to operate like this, these banks is gonna love you. People is gonna love to do business with you. You do not want to scare these. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We need to get out of the mindset of, oh, they're doing this, they're doing that. The doors is open to do business. You know what I'm saying? And when you start doing it the right way, you're gonna eat. You're gonna get yours. Believe that. You know what I'm saying? So submit 50 or less for 1099. So you can actually do a 1099B on 1099.com electronically. And I would encourage that. You can also follow up, and there's the address here, which is Department of Revenue. The P.O. Box in Boston right here. I'm trying to highlight it, but see, that's what made it go away last time. But luckily, I'm almost done with this seminar. So now we're gonna talk about the general post. We're gonna talk about the general post office P.O. Box. We're gonna talk about Regis. We're gonna talk about, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna get into business. Once we get out of commerce, guys, once I bring you out of commerce, and once I bring you out of statutory and federal law, and I get you guys to get to understanding how to navigate and use these tools to your advantage, we're not gonna be talking about codes and statutes or none of that shit. We're gonna get it to a point where we just making concise statements, you know what I'm saying, and we letting these people know what's going on. We ain't just screaming codes and statutes. We just talking about equitable interest. We're doing exclusive equity on both ends. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go into a lot of stuff. I just wanted to go over them tax forms. I only got like 9 minutes left. Briefly, they're available, guys. You understand what I'm saying? So here's the 56. Okay, the 56 is pre-filled out for you guys. You know what I'm saying? All the information is there. You know what I'm saying? Everything that you need. Okay. You do not have to do any of this, guys. You do not need to touch these forms, sign these certificates. If you don't know what you're doing, I don't encourage you to do it. If you're not confident, do not do this. This is your entity classification and election. You know what I'm saying? This is just simply stating the trust, putting your identification numbers. You understand what I'm saying? And this is where your UCC is going to come in on the private side, because you're going to go ahead and send that to the IRS. If they see that you have an executed non-commercial lien, and how you're going about this, that's going to cover your butt. Which you don't need that, guys. I'm saying, I'm not here to, I don't like scare tactics. I don't like people that use scare tactics, things of that nature. And this is the power of attorney. You see that you're appointing that, Internal Revenue as your peoples. You got CAF numbers here. You want them to generate that, and over time they will. You'll start to learn more about that as time go by. You know what I'm saying? You give him full dominion. You know what I'm saying? If you look at the bottom, you give him full dominion and you full dominion over all and legal estate together with the rights to future payment of cess-K. Retitling accounts, assets in relation to the foundational documents entitled in the name of the trustee and inter vivos trust. We're gonna go over inter vivos trust. We're gonna go over a lot of stuff that that really backs you up on the international level. That's gonna really set you apart when you govern your trust affairs. You know what I'm saying? And and then we're gonna go into like how to set up a trust. Resulting in constructive and oral trust by parole. We're gonna go because trust is very complex. You know what I'm saying? And then we got the 8821, you know what I'm saying? And you see, it's very similar to the other tax forms, but it's relevant. You want to use all these tax forms together. And there's a lot of other tax forms that I'm not even going over. These are the magical 8, you know what I'm saying? You got a lot of other forms, but this is dealing with your estate. You understand? This ain't dealing with the LLC. This ain't dealing with the S corporation, but this is dealing with your estate, the fiduciary. This is dealing with your birth certificate and your social security subliminally. This is dealing with the legal descendant estate, and this is dealing with talking to the Treasury and the IRS. Okay, see that it says concerning fiduciary relationship of financial institution. See, in this form, you'll notice that in this form, this is where you're appointing the Internal Revenue Service as a fiduciary. Now, when we go into the 56F, you'll see that you're appointing yourself as the fiduciary. So now you have fiduciary capacity and the IRS has fiduciary capacity because we're in receivership. We're constantly receiving, exchanging, and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then we got the 1099B. Okay. We got this pre-filled out. Okay. The right way. Everybody wants to say that you're a creditor, but if you're the creditor, then the United States don't have any obligation because their obligation is to debts. So I really think that people need to get their lingo right and stop regurgitating on and really understand what the fuck is going on. Excuse my language. And this is the 911, which is request of the taxpayer advocate service. So this is letting the IRS know, hey, I'm not a professional. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not a CPA. If there's any errors or anything of that nature that we need to correct, either correct it or let's correct it, let's get it situated. And this is giving them permission to act on your behalf. You know what I'm saying? So when you file in those whistleblower forms, and when you file any other forms in, they already have this. You know what I'm saying? And when they look up that, and mind you, for each account we put in the location of the debtor is the courthouse. It's the dealership, it's the credit. So when they're looking into this case, your address is not popping up. Their territory in the District of Columbia, the location of the debtor is popping up. And at the bottom, it describes the relief that you're trying to get, and it's telling them to look at Form 231. So guys, I'm going to end it here because I'm going to get cut out here shortly. And I just want to thank everybody for participating and being very patient with me. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff to cover. I mean, you guys, well, I'm just going to go see, look, I got screen sharing. So we got the process for abatement. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand the administrative process before we start doing all that good stuff. We got the canons. Okay. We're going to talk about incentive payments to the state for child support, things of that nature. We're going to cover everything, but I'm not just going to go into things and get people just lost in the sauce because it's going to generate a lot of questions. It's going to generate just a lot of deorganized type of interactions with us, and it's not going to have no true purpose and intent and what my soul is here to do and fulfill for the people. You know what I'm saying? But I would encourage you to go to the Security Exchange Act and for D in section 9 and go ahead